Hello everyone, welcome to Rubber Industry Connect. It's a TechnoBiz initiative to introduce manufacturers and suppliers of rubber products and technologies to the global rubber industry fraternity to explore business opportunities as well as partnerships. This program comprises of company presentation and a short conversation with the top management of company. Today, TechnoBiz introduces Harkesh Rubber Private Limited based in India, which is a manufacturer and exporter of O-rings, seals, diaphragms, and gaskets. We have Mr. Darshan Shah, Managing Director, Harkesh Rubber, to introduce about Harkesh Rubber's products, infrastructure, and capabilities. Let's welcome Mr. Darshan Shah to make a presentation on the Harkesh Rubber.
Hi, Bayram. Good morning. Thank you for giving us this platform and this opportunity to reach out to the rubber industry and the fraternity at large. I'm really happy to share with you about our company, Harkesh Rubber, today. Our company is a family business based out of Mumbai in India with two manufacturing locations north of Bombay. It's a company started by my father, and I'll take you through some of our journey and details. So first of all, what do we do? Our company basically manufactures various different kind of products, like I covered already. Specific product categories are small precision parts, which you see here, micro parts also, they are known as, and rubber diaphragms. These are the two product categories that we largely specialize in. And this is a question we get often from our clients that, what are the different materials that we process? So we are into all types of synthetic rubbers, largely NBR, EPDM, fluorosilicon, different types of FKM ranging from normal FKM bisphenol cured to white on extreme and even FFKM. We are also, compounding chloroprene and HNBR. So just to recap, our product range is small precision parts, diaphragms, and customized seals. We also do O-rings and gaskets with special requirements for our customers where special compounding needs arise. These are some of our clients. Our client base is basically largely multinational corporations. So 55% of our business comes from exports. Out of the domestic chunk that we have, 80% is from global MNCs. So these are companies that you may be familiar with, Siemens, Emerson, IDEX Corporation, etc. So we have a good client base, some demanding customers, and that has helped us over the years, raise our level and our systems to meet the demanding needs of our customers. In terms of industries that we cater to, it's largely the thermal actuator industry, pneumatics, engineering, and aerospace. Some of our parts are also on the Boeing and the Airbus. This is where we supply the micro precision parts. Other than that, we are into flow controls, so control valves, pneumatic actuators, pressure regulators. That's where we supply the fabric diaphragms. And we also supply diaphragms for gas regulators. And O-rings, as everybody knows, is used all around us and in all kinds of applications. And we also do some metal bonded components with special requirements for various different industries. In terms of infrastructure, I am very proud to say that we have an infrastructure which I'm really proud of. In terms of technology, we have the latest injection molding machines, we have the best vacuum compression machines, and even in terms of deflashing, we have Japanese technology for cryogenic deflashing. At the same time, We've also invested in an automated inspection system with multiple cameras. So we are more and more removing the subjectivity out of manufacturing and making it an automated process so that the customers can rely on our manufacturing capability, and they are at peace that we are getting good parts at the end of the day. So technology is something that I would really, we strongly believe in. We've been investing in the latest technology for many years now, and that's something that's a strong point of our organization, I would say. These are some pictures of, so this is a large 400-ton Desma injection press, uh, a 250-ton press, the cryogenic deflashing machine that I spoke about earlier, 100-ton press, and this is our inspection system that we covered. It's capable of doing 7,200 parts per hour on a conveyor belt, so that's been really a good addition to our infrastructure. Uh, so what have we been doing for the last 2-3 years? The COVID has been challenging for many businesses and many people around the world. Luckily, from a health and safety standpoint, we've not had any incidents. All our people are safe and healthy. But it has opened up multiple doors for us. For the last 3 years, our sales have increased by 50% year on year. For the current year, our aim is to keep up with that same pace and look at a 50% growth this year as well. Supply chain issues in the last 2 years are common knowledge to everybody, but even during that time, we've been able to keep up our on-time delivery at 89%, which we are very proud of. So we were able to talk to our vendors, plan a little bit of inventory ahead of time, and make sure that we supply to our customers on time and there are no delays over there. And we've not had any customer end rejections in the previous year. So that's been really good for us. In terms of the management systems in our organization, QMS 9001 2015, of course, most companies would have this today. We are also ISO 14001 environmental certified, and 45001 health and safety. This has become more and more a critical part of the business. And we also have the IATF 16949 certification required for the automotive industry. Even though our focus is more on flow controls, but the systems demand usually comes from the automotive industry. So we've kept in touch with that to make sure that we have the best systems in place for our organization. We are also considering getting a VDA 6.3 audit as per German standards externally done. It's already been done by some of our customers, and we've been able to meet that requirement as well. Over the years, a lot of people have put in a lot of hard work in our organization, and these awards and testimonials are something that they can be proud of. We've been recognized by various companies for the efforts that we've made in order to help them achieve their targets and their projects. And these are some of the companies who have had a very positive experience with us and recognized us for the same. So just to give a bit of a history of our organization, our company was founded in 1983 by my father. It started in a small workshop here in Mumbai. In the year 85, we got into the consumer goods industry, and 1990 was a big turning point for us. That's when we got into critical micro parts for gas regulators. In India, back in the 90s, every household would have a gas tank for cooking, and there used to be a sensitive regulator on top of it with 6 rubber parts, and they needed to be the right quality because any quality issues, and it could lead to a large problem at the customer end. So this is where we developed our strong process control, our compounding formulations, and we were able to consistently supply millions of parts during the 90s for these gas regulators. Then in the year 2000 is when we got associated with the food and beverage industry. some piping systems, some bottling machinery, etc. And 2006 onwards is when we started exports to US and Germany. And as mentioned earlier, exports is a large market for us. Our entire infrastructure and organization is built with a global customer base in mind, and we try to keep up the systems and infrastructure also at the same level. And 2019 is when we cleared a VDA 6.3 audit by a leading German customer. So some of the major milestones: we've been exporting to 15 countries. We've delivered more than 100 million parts. We have overall 40 years of experience in the organization, 4,000 plus molds, and a reliable team size of 50 plus people. Stability is a strong point for us. I would like to highlight that even post-COVID, we've not, let go or had missed out on any team member in our staff, which we are very proud of. So what's the advantage? What's different about Harkesh Rubber compared to any other rubber organization? We are an ideal-sized organization. We are a young company. Our average age is 32 years. We are very nimble. We have a quick response, and we react to market dynamics quite quickly, and are able to put a product on the table of our customer before others have even begin to start quoting for them. So that's something that we are very proud of. Quality is paramount when you're supplying to the global customer base that we are doing. So that's a complete given. And we believe in growing together along with our customers, vendors, and team size. The growth that we covered earlier has helped us, grow our vendors and our team as well. So we have a very long-term approach and outlook to everything that we do. That I believe makes us a very reliable partner for most organizations. This is a picture of our factory and our operations team. We're also very proud that 70% of our entire organization's team is led by women, and we believe that that also goes a long way in the sustainability goals that the world has, especially for a developing country like India. This is our team. So my father, who started the organization, I'm Darshan. I'm the managing director and responsible for the overall health of the organization today. Jay is also my younger brother, and he's responsible for marketing and R&D. And yeah, together is our core management team. We also, because we are a young company, we have an independent board who we report to on a monthly basis. These are people with experiences who have helped grow many organizations like us. And as a family business, it's important to have a good balance between a family outlook and professionalization. We are constantly striving to become better through higher accountability, including the top management. And these gentlemen help us do that. This is our organization chart. It may not be visible, but I'm happy to share it with anybody who's more interested in knowing this. But basically, we have a very strong, reliable team, more than 10 engineers, and people who have been with us for more than 10, 15, 20 years even. And this has given us a good balance of young energy and experience to deliver the needs of our customers. So what's our vision and long-term objective? So our vision is really clear. We want to be a trusted partner for precision sealing solution. We want our customers and people associated with us to trust us. How are we going to do that? It's by being principle-driven, creating a value for all our partners. And the last one is really important to us, which is going beyond business. Every company or person that we get associated with, we are always looking at a win-win and a long-term, association with them. We are not interested in transactions. We are always interested in building partnerships. So there have been cases in the past, where Customers have thrown some very difficult challenges at us. But even if the numbers don't make sense, our first outlook is to go beyond business and deliver what the customer wants. And that's kind of made us very bankable and build credibility over the long run for our company. These are some case studies of how we've added value to our customers. So this is, for example, a diaphragm that we manufactured for an HVAC application, where the customer eventually, because of the material that we were able to suggest, able to bag an order worth over $2 million from their customer because they were not able to meet the requirement of a high temperature FKM before this. This is an O-ring, for example, what our customer was buying earlier and used to have continuous leakages in their assemblies. This is an O-ring developed by us eventually. And this is one more example of a fabric bonded diaphragm where we were able to reduce the delivery time by 25% and reduce the cost of by 20% for one of our German clients who have been with us for over 10 years now, and we've been able to really help them in these challenging times. So what's the direction that we have for the future that's coming? So as mentioned earlier, for this year also, our aim is to grow at 50%. And it's not just revenue growth. We have to make sure that we have the right people, the right machinery, the right team and knowledge and skill set to continue to grow at the rate that we are. So how are we going to do that? By expanding our production and knowledge capabilities. And we are also considering getting a aerospace AS 9100 certification to meet the aerospace demands of our Indian customers. So these are some common questions that we get from our clients. What's your team size? So we have over 50 plus employees. The polymers that we commonly use are NBR, EPDM, FKM, FEPM, HNBR, and fluorosilicon. Our factory, we're doing a video shoot very soon, so we'll share that with our audience as early as possible. And generally, when we are supplying globally, the delivery times are a concern, but most of the micro and small parts that we do are air freighted and delivered on the 5th day to our clients. And we also get this question that do we manufacture our own compounds or we outsource them? We do both. So 80% of our compounds are produced by us, but in special cases where our customer has a pre-approved compound or there is a special requirement like FFKM, we do have authorized vendors where we source these compounds from. So yeah, that's a little bit about our company, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have and share with you anything further that you would like to know.
Excellent presentation, Darshan, and very good to know that all the tools you have with infrastructure, right team, and also the interesting to see the the case studies, how you handle the problems and what are the problem solutions for your clients. It's very nice way of running the business. You've got the values, you have the right team, right infrastructure, and also attitude towards addressing the problems in the swift manner. So let's have a short conversation, in addition to your presentation for the benefit of the industry, So, first of all, I thank you very much for accepting our invitation to be part of the Rubber Industry Connect. So initiated by the Technobase.
No, I would. It is me who should thank you, Peram, because you are always working to help the rubber industry and connect the dots and get us introduced to the right trainers and right people around the globe. So you've been a good spoke in helping the rubber industry grow, and not just in India, in multiple locations. So keep up the good work because we tend to get busy in our own world, and we always need some hand holding here.
I think we are all eating rubber day in, day out, right?
Yeah.
It's in the blood. You cannot take it away. So nice. Um, Darshan, you already mentioned, okay, why us, but I wanted to pinpoint what are
Right.
USPs of the Harkesh rubber. Why Harkesh? There are, of course, there are similar product suppliers. How do you distinguish what are the key company, the key USPs of the Harkesh rubber?
Right. So what I tend to tell our customers is that you can think of us as doctors of rubber. Rubber is still an evolving science. Like plastics, for example, is a very mature science now. Rubber is still evolving. Even large organizations don't always have experts of rubber in-house. We understand rubber really well, synthetic rubber, the compound part of it, the mixing part of it, and how to get the right compound to meet the requirements of our customers. That is one of our really strong strengths, the compounding part. Other than that, we have a really young and dynamic team. Our response rate, I believe, is I would say it's higher than most other competitors or other companies out there. So we are very quick to react to our customers' requirement. Another example is market changes and dynamics. One of the reasons we've been able to manage our on-time delivery during COVID also is because we proactively reached out to our customers and told them, please give us your forecast. We want to stock the material because we can see that there might be challenges up ahead. And other than that, I really love our young and energetic team. We have more than 10 engineers, and I am a strong believer in the energy of youth, and I believe that really kind of brings a good energy to the company. So these are some of our USPs, I believe. And of course, sorry, one last thing is our infrastructure. In terms of our injection molding, our inspection, and our cryogenic, I believe it again puts us in the top 2% of other rubber manufacturers. And we will continue to make investments in technology as and when required. That I also believe is a really strong point of ours.
Well, very nice. I think you have all the tools, and everybody
Yeah.
why anybody has to choose Harkesh Rubber for their trusted partner. Okay, so Darshan, I'd like to hit on the quality. I think you briefly mentioned your presentation. Can you elaborate
Yeah.
on your quality assurance program, and also the quality is one thing, on-time delivery is another thing. Of course, you also have a lot of other issues
Right.
about beyond your control on the logistics, worldwide issues. So
Right.
what are your mechanisms and structure you're dealing with the quality assurance and the on-time delivery for the clients that you serve?
Right. So I believe quality is built into the culture of the organization. And as a family business, we take a lot of pride in what we do. It starts from the culture set down by my father. And, like I mentioned in the 90s, we were doing really critical parts for gas regulators. Now, if you can imagine if there is, even a small defect in a gas regulator at somebody's house, that's a big responsibility. So it's built into our organization to make sure no matter what you need to do in-house, but don't send a bad part out to our customer. This is an instruction that is all throughout the organization, from the operator to the helper, everywhere. Now, saying that is one thing, but how do you make sure it is done, and how do you deliver on it? So when you have the right systems, the right infrastructure, the right machinery, uh, and the right attitude, then I believe that it doesn't mean that mistakes will never happen, but we are very, very conscious and responsible about what we do. So that's what we do with regards to the quality. With regards to on-time delivery, again, there are certain systems in place. We are a strong believer in theory of constraints by Mr. Goldratt. We've been following his principles in our organization. So, like Mr. Goldratt used to say, when you have work, go like a road runner. When you don't, just stop. So the concept of flow is what we practice a lot in our organization. That once you start something, finish it with the right quality and get it out the door. So this is what helps us, make sure that our on-time deliveries are also higher. We don't keep a lot of WIP in our pipeline, and that has helped us maintain our delivery times.
Yeah, excellent. I think it's also good that you have the external board so that who can look through the different eyes and give you the guidance and how to move forward with your vision, and also give you the right advice. I think that is a small company having an external board. I think it's also very unique thing. Not many companies have that opportunity, and also maybe they're not follow it at all. So
Yeah, true, Piram. Like I mentioned earlier, we are looking at everything from I keep telling everybody around me that, I'm probably going to do this for the next 30 years. So if I'm supposed to do something 10 years down the line, I might as well start today. The independent board really help bringing on their expertise and keeps us accountable. There's somebody I also need to answer to. Why did this not happen? Why is this number wrong? And uh, it pushes us to do better and not get into a comfort zone.
yeah, that's really important. It is very really important. Can you talk about, you already mentioned in the various materials that you use. Of course, there is continuous development of products and material requirement, material changes. How do you keep up with the custom compound development? Do you have in-house facility, or what is happening in that custom compound as per the customer requirement?
Yeah, like I mentioned, rubber is it's still an evolving science. We have chemists in-house, we have experts in-house whose constant job is to, do R&D and make sure that we meet the requirements of our customers. For example, even as we speak, we have a compound which is under testing for drinking water approval. We have a compound which is under testing for UL94 approval. Uh, so we are constantly, reacting to the demands and requirements of the world, and new polymers also when they come out. For example, I remember 15, 16 years ago, we were one of the first companies in India to compound HNBR. Nobody was aware 16 years ago that there is an HNBR available in the market. So we are always talking to our vendors and manufacturers that, tell us how can we do better. Do you have a better solution? Let us go and talk to the customer. And that's again something that we are actively always looking at. We have an
Um,
in-house laboratory as well. So compounding is one of our strengths. The entire quality and whatever we do starts from there.
Super. I think that's very, very important. If you can develop a good compound, it reflects
Yeah,
in the good quality product. So one
correct.
more thing in the molding, particularly rubber mold manufacturers, is that mold making. Okay,
Yeah.
having right molds. Okay, and particularly rubber molds is they're unique compared to the plastic molds, and also
True.
how you are managing your molds. Okay, are you making your own, or what is the structure about the molds and its design?
So we've tried to educate ourselves and improve our skill set in understanding how to better design the molds, how to improve our molds. But as far as the machining part is concerned, we leave it to the experts. So we've identified the best tool makers globally. We not only make molds from India, we get them made from Italy, from Korea, various different vendors and manufacturers. And we've realized that tool making is a bit of a skill also. It's not just simple machining. So designing is a bit of a skill. So we have certain checks and balances in place where we know what to do, and we tell the vendor that this is what we require. But at the end of the day, the vendor's inputs also matter a lot. So depending on the part that we have, whether it's, for example, a fabric bonded diaphragm or whether it's a small precision part, we know that which tool maker has experience in this type of product category, and we leverage on their experience to make sure that we get the right products.
You have mentioned, I think you are currently 15 countries. I'm sure that with your vision and with your board direction, the number multiplied sooner or later. Okay, and so currently, which countries you are exporting to, and what are your future plans? What kind of countries that you really want to target about? Yeah.
So currently, the major markets that we serve are US, France, Germany. These are the top three countries that we export to. Our plans are to have deeper penetration in more developed countries. It's not the focus of exporting to multiple countries, but having more number of companies. We also have representatives in Germany, Spain, Italy. So through channeling the experience and connecting with more people, hopefully through even the TechnoBiz platform, we want more companies to be aware of our strengths and our organization and see if there is a win-win situation where both of us can work. So our long-term outlook is to at least grow by 10x. That's the goal set by my team, by our team when we did a workshop last year. So my responsibility is to now make sure that we meet those goals and they can take care of the rest.
And I think when you mentioned that you are exporting to particularly European countries, that itself defines the quality, okay, and precision, accuracy. Those because there is no compromise in those countries in terms of the quality and all other aspects of the.
We had a professor back when I was studying, and he said quality is a given. You can never talk about quality as a strong point in your. I mean, there's nobody who wakes up in the morning and says, I want a bad quality product. So don't talk about quality. And that's really something that we practiced.
Yeah. So can I talk about, as we just talked about compound development, the new materials that keep on coming, new requirements because of the regulations, product, in terms of product line. How important is R&D in your company? Are you investing sufficiently, continuously in R&D? Yeah, can you talk about your R&D facilities and R&D structure? Yeah.
Sure. So no, it's a really strong and important point within the organization. Like you said, for example, in recent years, REACH and ROHS regulations have been changing. Drinking water approval requirements are changing all the time. So R&D is a really strong subject. We've been fortunate enough to have the right clients who keep us updated. This is what is going to happen, Darshan. Let's start planning for 2024 because this compound may no longer be in use at that time. And then we start working on that and with our in-house laboratory to make sure that basic validations are done in-house, and thereafter we get the third-party testing done at leading laboratories outside to make sure that our compound is meeting all the requirements. But again, infrastructure, I believe, plays a very strong part in this. Having a laboratory set up in-house, even in terms of compound mixing, our compounds are mixed on an intermeshing mixer to make sure that our technical rubber goods are of the right quality all the time. So it's an important subject, and it's always going to keep evolving, especially as far as rubber is concerned. It's still new materials are coming out, still regulation is being developed. So we've got to be on top of our game there, and we got out.
Yeah, that's very important, R&D. And when it comes to talking about R&D, infrastructure is one thing. Other thing is a team.
Yes.
Skilled team.
Absolutely.
Okay, you have to have a right machines, right infrastructure, but with a good team. And I think you already mentioned about you have a young team combined with experienced team. Some people are working for 30 years or 20 years. So it's a very good blender so that they can keep on exchanging. So can you talk about your skill development programs, because the skill has to be continuously developed as per the industry requirement. So what is your current programs about skill development for your team?
So training is a really strong and important part of our organization. Any new person who joins the organization, we have a lot of documents that we've built, not just SOPs, training manuals, guidelines. We invest a lot in people and in making sure that when they get on to actually doing the work, they are ready to deliver. So and we take help of digital platforms, for example Google Classrooms. We've actually created in-house classes and classrooms for induction and different programs in our organization. Thereafter, we are a strong believer in women empowerment. I read this somewhere and it stayed with me for a long time, that to make a country like India from developing to developed, you have to empower half the 50% population that doesn't get the same opportunities. So these two combination of training and people who are hungry to kind of show what they can do is helping us build the right team, even at the level where the machine operators are, the helpers are.
I think it's very important. The training, continuous, regular training programs is very, very important. You talked about COVID situation. I think every company, I think every family got a lot of issues during the COVID and pandemic.
Right.
How did you manage? I think you have a lot of women in your company. I think it comes with additional response for them itself.
Right.
Taking care of the whole families. So how did you support your your team, and how did you manage this COVID times?
COVID times were certainly challenging for everybody, but as a family business, for us, we always tell everybody associated with us that we have a going beyond business, which I covered in our mission statement. Again, it's something it's a part of our organization. So the first thing that we did is we told our people, you don't have to worry about anything. We did not get rid of any single employee within the organization. All the salaries were paid in full on time during the 2 months that we were under lockdown. Our entire plant operations were shut for 40 days. But we had a very clear mindset on day one. The lockdown was announced. Our people is our responsibility. That's why we are sitting here. And once then things started going back to normal, when you show that kind of trust and loyalty, people also see that and respond to that. So we came closer as a family, I would say. The entire organization of 80 plus people that we have, and that helped us then get back on our feet very quickly, very enthusiastically. We also used COVID as an opportunity for upgrading the skill set of our staff as well through various technical programs like what even Technobiz did. So yeah, it was challenging. It was, nobody knew how things were going to turn out, but I would say that we managed well and we've come out stronger on the other side.
Excellent, excellent. It's actually, I think that's being human. I think that is during the crisis time is what matters. I think the business will have ups and downs, but people are the asset to take care of
Yes,
them.
absolutely. We made sure all our staff was vaccinated at the earliest available opportunity. We literally, kept a track of, okay, have you done this? If there was somebody who had concerns, we had somebody sit down with them, talk to them. We did a lot of handholding. We did our part, I would say. And touch wood, that kind of showed in our results as well. Luckily, we didn't have anybody that we lost during that time. I would count ourselves very fortunate because of that. So it helped somewhere. It worked out.
It's a responsibility, okay, taking care of them. Yeah, or nothing else.
100%.
So it's not a job; it's a responsibility. Yeah. So
I completely agree with you.
As a MD,
Yeah.
I think a lot of weight on the shoulder, right? It's not easy,
Right.
right? Okay, and What kind of business and process tools that you've been implementing to optimize your overall performance of the business, whether it's an operational side or financial aspects of it? Yeah. Can you talk about it?
Right. Sure. So we have strong MISs in place. We have a strong financial base. Amongst our independent board is Samir Arora, for example, who runs a company called CFO Services, and he's like an external CFO for us. Mr. Moradian is an operations expert. So the monthly accountability, how well is the organization doing, numbers, data, numbers, facts. It's something that we talk about all the time in our organization. Don't give opinions, talk about data, numbers, and facts. What is our performance? What is the number, and what do we need to improve? So that's kind of keeps us on track, and we are not going by our gut feel. It's not that it's not required, but sometimes it can cloud your decision making. So we are strong believer in numbers. Apart from that, the TOC principle of removing the bottlenecks, keeping the material flowing at all times, having the right inventory to make sure the bottlenecks are not lying idle at any time. So these principles and constant external trainings of our staff, so that it's not just something that I believe in and everybody understands. It's actually a science out there, and we built it as a part of our organization.
Okay. So, what are the future plans, man, for Harkesh Rubber? 5 years, 10 years, until you retire? What's the plan?
Yeah, retirement is quite far away. Like I said, earlier that I hope to do this business for at least another 30 years to come. And the idea is to build something bigger than yourself, to leave a legacy behind, to show the world what an organization like ours, an Indian company, can do. We can give world-class products with a world-class infrastructure. We should be second to none, and be something that we're very proud of. In terms of numbers, like I said earlier, we have a 10x growth target. That's what we've set out to do. My team tells me that sir, we'll manage the day-to-day operations. You create the path for us to grow much bigger than where we are today. So in that sense, setting the right strategy, having a clear execution plan, which is that happens by with the right team and giving them the right tools. It's as simple as that. Setting a path that we want to walk on, get the right people to walk on that, and give them the right tools to do it. That's, I believe, in a nutshell, my job as the managing director. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how it pans out. It may take 4 years, it may take 6 years. What goal we set, the timeline could vary depending on external circumstances, but we'll get there, I have no doubt. And we will build an organization that everybody associated with us is proud of.
Super. I think it's all in place. I just need to move forward step by step. Is it right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's everything is a function of time, I believe. The right time, energy, and effort in the right place, and results are bound for. Strong believer in that.
Okay. Before we end this session, Darshan, what is your message to your current and potential future customers? What kind of message you want to pass on to them?
To our existing customers, the only message is thank you for your trust, and we'll never let you down. We never have, and we never will. That's the simple message. With regards to people who are watching this, who want to engage in a conversation, get to know us better, please reach out. In whichever way or whatever way that we can, work together, create a win-win situation, help each other. We would certainly like to know more. One thing that we promise you is that we will give you our best attention and time, and we'll be honest at all times. That's something that we promise you.
Darshan, fantastic. I think it's you have given complete, the vision about Harkesh Rubber and also the product line, what kind of markets you're serving, how you address the problems. This is an excellent rubber industry connect program with Harkesh Rubber. Thank you very much for being part of this.
Thank you, Peram. Thank you for having us and giving us this platform. It's been a pleasure.
Guys, that's the end of the presentation on the Harkesh Rubber as a part of the Rubber Industry Connect. And as you know, they are the manufacturer and exporter of the O-rings, seals, diaphragms, and gaskets. They're based in India, but they're serving the global market. If you like to know more information about or up-to-date information, you always reach to their website, harkeshrubber.com, or you can write to Darshan while send an email to contact@harkeshrubber.com. Thank you all.
Thank you, Bea.